Nalin Kohli first. Nalin, so the Congress's charge is that all of this smacks of vendetta. After all, from the soundbite of the rally that Mr. Gandhi addressed in 2019 in Kolar in Karnataka, it was clear that he was talking about Narendra Modi being a chore and not Purnesh Modi. So Purnesh Modi, or any other Modi for that matter, other than the ones that he named, have no locus standi in this case.
As a practicing lawyer, I would feel that that's a rather democratic argument being put forth by the Congress party. The fact of the matter is that Mr. Gandhi chose to make a statement that was distasteful. He abused the community, to put it bluntly. Why are people with a Modi surname all thieves? How would I react if the same thing was to me? Why are all Kohlis thieves? Or if he said all Jacobs are thieves? You would react equally violently in terms of saying, what is this? How are you dragging us into your politics? Somebody felt offended enough to go and file a case. It went to a court. Mr. Gandhi was well represented by a lawyer. A conviction happens. And then he says that, why am I being convicted in 2 years? So this is also, I must say, as a lawyer, for me, very surprising. Does a judge call the accused and say, how much would you like to be sentenced?
Yeah.
It's up to the judge to sentence a person. Whatever, in a murder case, somebody may get life imprisonment, somebody may get a death sentence. So this is for a judge to decide based on a fact. Every day in a court of law, somebody wins, somebody loses. Some sentences sounds more, some sentence sounds less. You have a problem, you appeal it. You have every right to appeal it.
Okay.
And Congress leaders, after 3 appeals, which is in effect, they go to the Sessions Court, now the High Court, are raising allegations about the High Court. We won't get any justice in Gujarat. What is Gujarat? Is Gujarat something that hates the Congress? Politically, they do badly because the people are not convinced with their politics. But how do you run down a constitutional court, which is the High Court of Gujarat?
Okay.
Now, assume that the Supreme Court rejects their appeal. Would they say the Supreme Court is biased? And let me take the other converse. Suppose the Supreme Court stays the conviction and they get relief. So would they tomorrow be entitled to say that a constitutional court is biased and no one should have faith in the Gujarat High Court?
So let me ask Salman Soz.
Defending.
Let me ask.
Defending Mr. Gandhi is crossing every limit.
Got it, Nalin. Salman Soz, you know, there's some very, very scathing recordings that have been included as part of the judgment. The judge in the Gujarat High Court saying that this punishment meted out to Mr. Gandhi is needed to have purity in politics. In fact, the applicant, that is Rahul Gandhi, is trying to seek the stay of his conviction on absolutely non-existent grounds. It is a well-settled principle of law that stay of conviction is not a rule, but an exception that is resorted to in rare cases. So essentially, what this judge is saying is that Mr. Gandhi thinks his is an exceptional case and therefore he wants relief. But the judge is saying that punishment is the norm and not the exception. So Mr. Gandhi should face the punishment for whatever utterances he made, just like any other normal individual who's been convicted has to face.
First of all, Rahul Gandhi ji is ready to face anything that the RSS and the BJP throw at him. He's not afraid of that, nor are we in the Congress party. Let me just tell you, Zaka, and to the viewers and other panelists here, that the entire Congress party, the vast majority of India's opposition, and hundreds of millions of Indians, regular Indians, are standing with Rahul Gandhi ji. We are going to take this fight to the BJP, the RSS. We are not going to back down. As far as the Honorable High Court, this decision is concerned, first of all, let me just say that given what this regime has done to the institutions, to India's institutions, the decimation of Indian institutions, this is disappointing, but it is not an unsurprising verdict.
Okay.
But let me just address the High Court's observations, which
please.
are very interesting, because I don't think the contentions and the arguments that Rahul Gandhi ji's team has made, I don't believe those have been taken into consideration. But let's just listen to what the judge had to say.
Yeah.
The judge talked about false statements being made to affect the outcome of an election of a BJP candidate. Now, let me ask all of the people who are watching us, was 15 lakhs in each bank account? Was that a true statement? Was 2 crore jobs a year? Was that a true statement? Was 8 to 10% economic growth?
Who was that defaming, Salman?
No,
who was that
please,
defaming?
Let me finish. Please give me an opportunity. Was that, because I want to remind people about elections and how they're conducted. 8 to 10% economic growth per year. Was that a true statement? Was doubling of farmer incomes? Was that a true statement? Was demonetization and end of black money? Was that a true statement? Was Lal Aankh to China? Was that a true statement?
No.
So,
one sec. Wait, no. These are political points. You can make these political points. I don't have a problem.
No, it's not political.
The only limited contention is that none of these cases that you enlisted defamed anybody. So if anybody took offense to any of the cases that you mentioned, those people or persons are well within their right to go ahead and file a defamation case.
Prime Minister Modi and our BJP leaders every day talk about this person is corrupt, that person is corrupt, without a shred of evidence being presented. They talk about 2G scam and Colgate and all this stuff without any conviction in all these years that they've been in power.
Okay.
So I would just submit that we are disappointed. We are not surprised. At the same time, we are going to go to the Supreme Court. And by the way, this is still at the interim stage. We were seeking interim relief. We will approach the Supreme Court. And by the way, people are watching. The people of this country are watching. They're watching how BJP is committing one self-goal after another. And I think ultimately the court of Janta, the Janta court,
let's leave that to the people's court to decide. But